Well, good morning. It's Ron Durant. This morning, we're going to Falls Creek Falls State Park to photograph another rock climbing event. I did one of these back in the spring. Today is September the 17th, 2022, and I almost forgot about this one, and one of the park rangers reached out to me yesterday and said, "Hey Ron, are you coming to the rock climbing workshop?" So I shuffled things around at the house and was able to make my schedule work and come out here today. I plan on spending the whole day here photographing this rock climbing event for them, and I really had a good time doing the last one, so I'm looking forward to this one. So today I stripped down my camera backpack quite a bit, and here's what I brought today. First off, I've switched to my low pro 450 AW pack, and in the pack I have the Nikon Z6ii with a 24-70 f4 Z lens and the 70-200 2.8 Z lens. That is it. I brought a monopod with my ball head on it, and I brought the platypod just for in case I wanted to do some stuff with the vlogging camera, because I'm going to use the Pocket 2 today, the DJI Pocket 2 for vlogging, but I'm also going to use my Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone setup, so I can put maybe a microphone on the climbers so we can hear what they're saying while they're climbing. Last time I did this, I brought way too much gear, so that's why I've stripped down my pack and just brought what I thought I would need. And I found it helpful last night to sit down at my desk and jot down on a post-it note exactly what equipment I wanted to bring today. Okay, I have arrived at Falls Creek Falls State Park, and I'm quite a bit early, so I'm going to walk down to the Cane Creek Cascades, which are just behind the visitor center, and see what they look like and maybe take a few photographs of that. When you walk from behind the visitor center, you'll find a whole bunch of steps leading down into the woods, and that's where you go to find this cascade at. So when you get to the end of the steps, they just kind of end, and you got to go around them and kind of rock hop down to the bottom. And we're going to go over here. I've already made my way down. The flow's not too bad today. You can probably already hear it. And we'll turn the camera around so you can see it now. Well, it looks rather nice this morning. The flow's pretty good. The water's clean. I did not bring a tripod today. I just brought my platypod with a ball head on it, because I was going minimal for this rock climbing event. So I'm a couple hours early for that, so I thought I would stop down here and do some waterfall photography, and this looks pretty good. I'm going to take some photographs right down here. Alright, I've set up over here on a rock ledge with the platypod. As you can see, it's right here. And I put the 6-stop neutral density filter on there. The base exposure for this shot was a 1/4 second. But with that on there, it's 15-second shots. We're going to take a photograph of that right now using a long exposure, and we'll show that in the video now. Here's the photograph I made using the 24-70 f4 Z lens. I had the circular polarizer and the 6-stop ND filter on for a 10-second exposure. I thought the long exposure worked on this composition really well. So here we are, set up to take this exposure, and the camera's working on it right now. 15-second timer, and let's review that image. Oh yeah, I think that looks really good. So I've got two different images here. I've got a 1/4 second shot, and then I've got this 15-second shot. We'll compare those two in the video. So I just brought the 24-70 today, and really for some of these compositions I want to do, I really could have used the 14-30, but because I was coming to do this rock climbing event, I wanted to minimize my equipment I was going to carry. I didn't know how far I was going to have to hike to get down and film these people, or photograph these people, I mean. So we're going to make the best of what we got here. I just did another shot of a 1/4 second and put the 6 stop on there and did a 15 second for a comparison, and I'll show that in the video right now.
This is the photograph I made without the 6 stop ND filter, and this exposure was for 1/4 second. And in comparison, this is the 15 second exposure with the 6 stop ND filter. Both images were shot with a circular polarizer attached. And the next series of photographs are a rapid fire of the 2 exposures.
So I was just sitting here contemplating my composition possibilities, and right here at the bottom of the falls is an interesting feature going on, and I'm going to move and try to capture an image of that and see what it looks like. This is Cane Creek Cascades, right behind the Visitor Center at Falls Creek Falls State Park.
In this photograph, I was able to catch the foliage behind the waterfall. This is a 10-second exposure with the neutral density 6 stop applied.
Well, I'm really fortunate this morning. It's supposed to be sunny today, but the clouds are out. It's overcast right now. And I'm using the 24-70, but boy, I should have brought the 14-30. I really could use a little more width down here. And I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right now. I'll turn the camera around so you can see. So this is the scene I'm trying to photograph, and I'm trying to get it so I don't have any of the sky that's up here in the top left corner. And there's a bridge, a walking bridge that goes across the top of this falls. I really don't want that in my photograph either. I might have to do something in Photoshop with that. But anyways, I really could have used the 14-30 today, but it's what I got, so it is what it is. All right, I've set up on this composition, and it's at 1/5 of a second, which gives me a 1/3 of a stop, underexposed. So I'm just got the circular polarizer on there. I'm using the Blue Frog system today, and I'm going to take a photograph here. This is at 1/5 of a second at f11, and the ISO is 100. Got a 2-second delay on the camera because I'm using the platypod today. I didn't bring a tripod. I'm going to put the 6 stop on here and adjust my exposure time to, let's see, that'll be about 10 seconds. I'm going to take a 10-second shot. It's on a 2-second delay to eliminate any shake from the platypod. Kind of liking this. I'm doing all my images today just using the platypod. All right, so we'll show those in the video now as a comparison.
I made this photograph at 1/4 second. You'll notice the DJI Pocket 2 on the left side of the frame sitting on the rock. I had propped it there so I could film myself. And then in this image, this is a 10-second exposure. And then I'm going to have a rapid fire here to show you the 2 exposures quickly. You be the judge which one you like. Leave me a note in the comments.
Okay, I think that's going to wrap it up for the Cane Creek Cascades. I wish I'd brought my 14-30 today, but I didn't. So I had to deal with what I got. And I'm using the 24-70 f4 Z-mount lens on the Z6ii. So hope you enjoyed those photographs. There'll be some more later on in this video. We're going to head on over to the parking area where we're going to meet the rock climbers. And I know there's a couple more waterfalls over there. Like I said, I'm about 2 hours early, which was intentional, so I could do some waterfall photography before I got over there. Okay, we were heading back to the car, and I took a little shortcut down to the overlook here to look at the Cane Creek waterfall, and the flow is not really that good today. I don't even know if you can see it down there. It's down there. But I thought I'd stop and show this in the video. I really like to come back here in the fall if I got time. I got a pretty aggressive schedule this fall for photography, but I like to take the cable trail and go all the way to the bottom down there. Right down there. All the way down there. I've been there once, but it was in the summertime, and I'd like to come down here and shoot this in the fall. So maybe this year will be the year to do it. It's really a pretty area, And when that waterfall is flowing, it really looks nice. There's also a second waterfall. That there's the Cane Creek waterfall. And over here is the Rock House waterfall coming off this side over here. So you can get both of them going at the same time. You get a pretty good photograph. Anyways, we're gonna head up to the car now and go on down to the parking area for the rock climbing event. Okay, I've come over to the main falls of Falls Creek Falls State Park, and there's a parking area. There's a set of restrooms up here, but what I found is they have planted a flower garden. Now, I heard about this a few years ago. They were talking about putting a butterfly garden in. Well, they've actually done it right here by the restrooms. So I'm going to stop here and try to take some handheld shots of some of these flowers that they got. I don't see any butterflies this morning, but I do see plenty of flower opportunities. So we're going to stop and do that right now. Okay, I stopped here to photograph some of these flowers, and some of them are pretty unique that I've never seen before. Like this one right here. I want to have to find the name for that so I can put it in the video.
Look at this beautiful common columbine. I'll have to be honest with you, I had to look it up. I didn't know what it was. I made this photograph hand holding the camera, and this was taken using the 24-70 Z lens.
And there's a few others on the other side that caught my interest. There's one right here. It's kind of different. I've never seen it before.
And this flower here is called Indian blanket. It has several generic names. Firewheel's another one. There were some ladies there that worked for the park cleaning the restrooms, and I talked to one of them, and she told me the name of this flower.
And then there's one more over here. This plant right here.
And this one here is a form of lavender, what the lady told me. I shot all these flower images with the 24-70 f4 Z-mount lens. And since I didn't bring a tripod today, everything was handheld. The 24-70 has really impressed me. It's really a nice lens to have in your kit.
So I'm gonna have to look up the names of these. Oh, wait a minute, there's one more. These flowers right here, I've never seen them before either.
This one here has a very unique name called the fall sneeze weed. I wonder why they call it that. It's a beautiful flower though.
Pretty unique little garden. It'd be nice if there's some butterflies here today, but it's still cloudy and it's still cool out. We're gonna finish up here and head over that way, that direction to the waterfall overlook. All right, okay, we made it to the big falls over here, and the flow is down. That's expected. It's been dry for the last couple of weeks. And again, we're set up with the platypod. Left the tripod at the house. We're using the platypod today for all these photographs.
The big falls at Falls Creek Falls State Park is controlled by a dam at the lake. This is not the ideal flow situation for this waterfall, but it is summertime and it has been dry.
Okay, we finished up doing the waterfall photography over at the big falls, Falls Creek Falls. And we're going to get ready now and find the group that's doing the rock climbing today and go meet up with them and do what photography we actually came to do today, was the rock climbing event. So we're going to go over there and find them.